Welcome back to another video right here on Freewheel Photos. Today we're working inside of ON1 Photo RAW, but we're also going to be working inside of Luminar Neo through using plugins. Now, one of the cool things about ON1 is that you can set ON1 by coming to the preferences, and then once the preference window pops up, you can click on plugins. And down here at the bottom, you have an option to identify a secondary folder, or you can use a default folder for Photoshop plugins. It's very important that the plugins you try to use, they also work inside of Photoshop. Now, not every plugin is going to work with ON1, but many of them do work with ON1. And once you have this set up, you may have to restart ON1, and then you can come back to a photo. So that brings us to our current place. Right here, you can see that I have a photo. I just activated Brilliance AI. So if I hold down / key and then let it go, you can see that it's just worked on a little bit of the basic tone color stuff. I didn't do anything drastic. I haven't added any edits or the local adjustments that were added. I just turned them off because they weren't doing anything for me. Now what I can do is send this photo into a plugin of my choice. Now I have a large amount of plugins inside of my computer, but we're going to go to Luminar Neo. So to do this, what we're going to do is come up here to where it says layer. We'll click there, and then we're going to come down to the bottom where it says filters. And then we're going to come down to the very bottom here where it says Skyloom. And then I'm going to click on Luminar Neo. Now, note that I could go to any of the filters that are on my drop-down list here, but I'm choosing to go to Luminar Neo today because I enjoy working inside of this program. I'm going to go ahead and click Luminar Neo. After a while, the software should open up. So now Luminar Neo has opened, and based off of the speed of your machine, it could take a little bit of time. It could go really fast. It's hard to say, but once it opens, it is normal business inside of Luminar. Now, for those of you who are familiar with using Luminar, notice that I don't have the catalog option that I would normally have inside of the standalone version of Luminar. The reason for that is because I'm in the plugin version, which means that the program Luminar Neo is being hosted by ON1. This is the exact same workflow that you would get if you were opening this through Photoshop or Lightroom as a plugin. All right. So now that we have that out of the way, I can start with a preset if I wanted to. So let's just see what presets do. We'll click on Sunset, and I'll just hover over these. Now, I do like this dream film on this image, and this is one of the reasons why I really enjoy coming into Luminar Neo from time to time in my workflow, because I get different looks. It's a creative workflow that gets me thinking about my image a little bit different. So I'm just looking over some of these to see if these get me to a starting point that I enjoy. But for the sake of this tutorial moving forward, I'm just going to go ahead and select this dream film one because I really do enjoy that. So we'll go ahead and click it. And then I don't want it to be 100%. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull down on the opacity just to fade it in, and probably in somewhere around there. Now, if I didn't want to do anything further with the image other than apply this preset, I can click on apply. It will take me back to ON1 Photo RAW, and I can continue my edit there. But if I want to do something a little bit more interesting to the edit, what I can do is click on the edit tab. This now forwards me into the edit workspace for Luminar Neo, and I have access to all of the tools that I would normally have access to inside of the edit module. Now, one of my favorite tools to work with inside of Luminar is the Enhance AI tool. Now, before I do this, I want to make note that if you're not familiar with using Luminar, over here at the top, whenever you apply a preset, these filters, they stack on top of each other. And the way that you can tell what's on the image or what's inside of a filter is by clicking on the edit button or the edit tab up here. And when you see a little dot, that's just telling you there's some edits or filters that are in this edit column over here. All right. So on this particular image, it already has an enhanced AI. So it's important, at least for me, to always come and check what does the preset actually apply to the image, so I know essentially what I'm doing to the image overall. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Enhance AI over here in the edit column just to see how much of it was added. And there's a sky enhancer. I may not even need the sky enhancer. So let's just pull that back. And yeah, so I don't think I need the sky enhancer. So I'm going to turn it off completely. And then I have the accent AI, which is, again, one of my favorite tools. And if I pull this left and right, you can see how that's impacting the image. And I can't quite put my finger on what accent AI is doing, but it's brightening the image. It's adding in contrast. It is adding in some or pulling out detail in the image in a way that if I were to use multiple filters, I still could not completely mimic it. So this is why it's one of my favorite tools, and one of the reasons why I grab Luminar Neo as a editing tool for my images. Now, what I do want to make note is anytime that I click one of these filters, I am not looking at the filters on top of it. Remember, I mentioned that Luminar Neo works in a additive method. So what that means is if you click on a filter that's lower in your filter stack, it turns off the filters above it. So right now, all I'm looking at is the edit for Enhance AI and the develop module. Now, the reason why I point that out is I just cranked up accent AI really, really high. It's at 69. If I were to come up here and let's say I click on color harmony, now I'm adding the color harmony over the color module or the color filter, which is also over the enhance AI. So it could make the photo look different than what I'm expecting it to be. If I am working on a filter that's at the bottom, I'm not seeing the impact of the filters at the top. So I'm missing that dreamy look, which is probably coming from the LUT filter or the mood filter. All right. Now, if I hold down the backslash key above my keyboard, and I guess that's not working right now. So what I'll do is come down here to preview, and I'll just hold down this I. And you can see this is the before. This is what we came into Luminar Neo with. And this is the after up to the color harmony. So this is a way that you can work. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and click on the top filter here. And you can see that brings back our entire look, which I'm all about this look before and after. Now I can come over here to tools. And then if I wanted to add in more tools, which one of the things that I may want to add in, I'll just play around with it, is under landscape, I can click on the landscape option. And if I click this, then I can click the golden hour and kind of pull that up because this was at sunrise, clearly, because the sun is still in the frame. And I'll let it go around here. And I don't know, that's making the photo look a little too fake orange for me. So maybe not so much. I'll turn that off. And then I can also play with atmosphere. And, you know, this is just where I experiment. I mentioned a lot that I sit around and I just play with editing photos. This is what I do. And I just wanted to kind of share that because sometimes I think photo editing gets too intimidating for people and they're not sure where to start. And the best way to figure out where to start is to just start messing with stuff. And if it works well, make mental note. Hey, I should try this on another photo. And if it continues to work well, then figure out how that fits into your overall photo editing workflow. So what I'm trying to do is see if I can make this photo look a little bit more hazy with the atmosphere filter. Because it's early morning. I did take this photo when I was in Alaska. obviously with all the snow and stuff like that. So just try to make sure that it fits the overall feeling of the day. And Atmosphere AI does a really good job at adding in some of that early morning fog look, especially on cold winter mornings like this one was. So turning it off, turning it on, you can see what it does to the overall image. Now, once I'm done with the photo, I could clean this up a little bit more, but I'm not going to worry about that because I'm just going to get this back into ON1 Photo RAW. Once I'm done with the image, I'll come up here and click on Apply. Luminar is going to finish the processing just like it would inside of Photoshop or any other application where you can host the Luminar Neo plugin. And ON1 deals with files coming from a plugin a little bit differently than you may imagine. So for simplicity's sake, or for clarity, I'm just going to go ahead and rename this. So this is the initial or the original. And then this one is the Luminar Neo plugin. So if I turn off this top one, you can see we're back to the original photo that came straight out of ON1, and that's with the Brilliance AI. And in fact, if I click on it, you'll see that it reactivates, or I guess it shows that Brilliance AI is activated. But this top one is actually its own new image, all right? Luminar Neo or any plugin that ON1 uses, it sends back a baked file. And what that means is I can't open up Luminar Neo again and start re-editing the image where I left off. I can open a new instance of Luminar with this version of the file and continue editing the photo, but it's starting over, assuming that this is the initial file. So essentially this is the version of the image that would go into Luminar Neo, and all of the sliders would be reset, and then I would be re-editing an edited version. Okay. So once you get the image back into ON1 and you have renamed your layers just for clarity's sake, you have a few options. And I definitely recommend that you go and take a look at the layers video that I made. But if I don't like how strong this is and I want to blend it with my original, I can just pull down on the opacity until it blends with the original and it looks a little bit more natural. So if I turn this off and turn it back on, you can see how that's just blending in with the initial photo. And this is all based off of your style. But I have complete range of using tone and color again. I can come into effects and I can add in any amount of effects that I wanted to use on this as if it were a typical image. This is one of the beautiful things about working inside of ON1 and then sending images off to plugins. You really do get this enhanced workflow of creating your images a little bit more intricately, and you can get very detailed with the way that you work. So I'm going to say that this is pretty good, even though I could probably use the eraser tool to get rid of all of this stuff, but that's not the point of today.